finished uploading, and then it went to page not found. So I'm uploading it again. I usually have to upload at least 2 times. Okay. So let's keep going because I could be here for hours doing this. So the first thing I was going to do was this interview between Wickstrom and Finkelstein, which is supposedly a rabbi who's this Freemason, Kabbalist, Frankist rabbi, versus this Nazi American pastor, okay? So that's where I started. Okay, let's keep going here. We're not going to do that. So then I looked up Wickstrom and how he's right-wing, Michigan, white supremacy, militia type thing, okay? Which stems from the Constitution and Christianity, okay? Does it, so, I go to this, it's called Posse Tatas, okay? So, yes, we understand, we don't need to go into, obviously you understand the stereotypes of Jews. You also understand the Nazi ideology, correct? And how it's connected with Christianity and the white race, right? We got that far, right? Now, they take it another level. That pastor had a radio station. So, say you're anti-government, right? And you're like, well, see, the Jewish thing, you know it's a conspiracy. Maybe you met some Jews and you realize they're just regular people, okay? And, religion is division. No one should be following religion. So to say Christianity is better than Judaism is total shit. Okay? So the next thing they did was added in the government thing, the Constitution. You think you're free, you're dumb. Okay? The whole anarchy movement. The problem here is we're talking about entrapment. Like, survival sounds good, and not having a license sounds good, and taking back your national sovereign rights, so you can be free, all sounds fine and dandy. In reality, we're talking about entrapment, divergence from the truth, being led by agents. Yeah, the agents, ones that would be around here with the people, would be YouTube agents that, let's say, you go visit them. Now, maybe they're not agents, maybe they're just dumb as rocks. Pushing ball, earth, and anarchy. Constitution? Hey, you just crawled out from under the rock. Constitution's bullshit. They're not going to protect you. They took away every right in the Constitution. Don't have any of them. Right to privacy, right to speech. You heard that dumb bitch, the new one who's in the Supreme Court? Asked her opinion on privacy, and she said, I'm sorry, I should move my phone away from my mouth here. Like way up in there. So, asked her what she thought about privacy, and what did she say? Well, I couldn't answer that. Why? A fucking Constitution right you can't answer whether we have a right to privacy? Get the fuck out of here. So, Comatous had friends mention that to me. Oh, well, you don't need a license. You tell the officer, I got to get away with it. I don't need a license or insurance. Yeah, well, you may be able to get away with that shit, but I can't.
None of your shit went down.
Listen, people. Unless you're planning on never doing business, you can't get away with, or you're not planning on ever driving again, can't get away with not having a license, okay? Unless you want, you can do things with insurance, maybe re-up it all the time, or you can do things and get like a state ID.
Are you kidding me?
Or you can live in someone else's house,
paperwork.
But
yeah, y'all proud of your motion?
It's not like, okay, so again,
sure
you're conflating, they conflate here, first of all, the anti-Semitism
Best of luck
supremacists,
and
the
best wishes.
Christianity.
Freaking
Of
blame
course,
other
the banks.
people.
We want to get rid of the banks. We don't want to pay taxes. We don't want money.
Yeah.
Jews.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a shill because
Killing
I don't want to
Jews
be a
and displacing
fucking
Jews are not
paper
going to get rid
pusher.
of the money.
You think you're gonna
They
win?
don't care. It's not like Jews aren't poison like the rest of us. I mean, the rest of other people. I grew up that way. I chose not to be religious. So, just wanted
Stay
to
away
show you
from
that the
haters,
sovereign
people.
citizen movement, okay, common law, all bullshit here. Okay, codes, statutes, appeal, African American, more bullshit. War, all by design, and all fake history. Okay, you can't say the Holocaust fake, but you came from Africa. Redemption movement, collateral against foreign debt, really, and its promoters. Oh wow, I'm so impressed. No, and no. Southern Poverty Law Center, yeah. Have we seen enough of that? I have. Nice intro. Okay, so I did not watch this. Let's go in it together. All the ones on the Posse Comatose are thousands of views, which are nothing. We'll just go right into Eagle. Yeah, I'm sure you're really going to tell us what Kim Kardashian going to do it.
No. That freaking crackhead's gonna do it.
Oh, can you hear me?
Apparently he's
Before President Trump's photo op at St. John's
a
Church in
lawyer
front of
now.
Square, which resulted
Oh, quiet. I can barely hear
in
it.
protesters being asked for chemicals. He appeared in behind the White House, outlined his response to protests for royal. President Trump
I hope it's not too choppy.
Fuck off, okay? Because you have legal books and just because you took a devil oath doesn't mean we trust you. You can pull out and say anything in a legal book. When I law school, okay, I'm big into logic. The law and logic can much break 99% of any case. Tells you that it's bullshit. Oh,
Insurrection Act of 18. Which allegedly would allow him to deploy the military to crack down on
I
protesters.
remember.
Right. The president did not.
Also, it allows him to crack down on protesters and bring in martial law. 88, High Hitler, 1807. Remember asking the constitutional teacher, I read the Declaration of Independence, tried to ask him, and he shut me down faster than thing and said, you talk like that, you will be called crazy. And anyone who goes and talks about constitutional law is considered crazy. Okay? When they teach you and tell you exactly what it is, the law, everyone in the law system is a puppet. Okay? The judge can do no more than what the law
it's
says.
because we're not filing the right paperwork, or why we're not millionaires.
Attorneys do no more what the law says too.
What kind of
There's
freaking
just
joke
two
is
different
that?
sides of the same damn coin. You don't have any room to move.
You're just calling yourself out to them as if you don't care about anything.
When they tell you this stuff, it was entrapment from the beginning, all to lead up to today, because it's like we believed it. We were with each other. We had a normal life. Spent that time wasting it on all their psyops.
Actually invoked the Insurrection Act, but he did use his unique authority within the district to make a serious show of force. For reasons that should be relatively obvious, people have debated how much authority the president has to use the military for civilian law enforcement purposes. And in addition to the Insurrection Act, you probably heard people make the Posse Comitatus Act and claim that the president actually doesn't have authority.
This one needs to go back to Alex Jones. And the finger point is the fucking finger point. Stop pointing at people. It's rude. And it's also a Freemasons taken.
And clearly, if you don't think you can take advice from me, then you shouldn't.
Ownership?
Or you can be. I mean, clearly this is a public domain.
Especially, it's their language.
Watch whoever the hell you want.
To invoke the armed forces in riots and protests. Well, I'm here to deliver the sobering news. The president actually has a lot of authority to use the military against.
Yeah, except the president doesn't make any decisions.
Whether he should do it are two completely separate issues.
They're just terrorizing you and scaring you.
Hey, legal eagles, it's time to.
What did they just show you? I can't see because I'm too busy listening.
There are a lot of
Is that the
American
ball
troops operating on American soil as we speak.
Yeah, no shit. Army everywhere.
What I think is by far the best resource for national security law, and that's a blog called Lawfare. It's simply bar none the best resource for.
Probably the only too. The only
go there
source.
At lawfareblog.com. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, never heard of
So
it.
let's start with the Posse
Your blog.
Act. Does it stop the president from using the military domestically?
If they wanted to, the president reads a script, and he didn't write the script. Whenever I did a public speech, fuck you. You know, is this your big debut? No, that's right. You play like what, 200 other different people? Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, when you do a public speech, well, at least from since I was a kid. I've always done. You remember we did one once a year presentation at school. We always had some index card or something. We write our own script. We don't need to stare at it the whole time because it's ours. Yes, they have already covered their ass on this area too. I remember watching West Wing and. You know, anything politics, you always have, they always have someone write they do have people write their stuff. They've been telling that also in Hollywood. They don't write their stuff. I.e. producer, type thing. Sorry, I'm doing something else too.
Sorry, the Bluetooth here. Click.
What the heck? It looks like that one guy from Alex Jones, he's got all those freaking, what the heck was his name?
There's some truth to it, but it's
Quasi-Viac?
My son of it.
U.S. Code states,
yeah.
whoever, except in cases under circumstances expressly authorized by the Constitution or Act of Congress, willfully uses any part of the Army or Air Force as a posse.
They created it for themselves so they could execute it on us.
Not more than 2 years or both. Now, a big part of a lawyer's job is
Yeah, of course, it's just for them to collect.
For your own side. The other side is against
you better hope
it.
you're still
the law is
valued
bullshit.
to them.
Don't forget, it's a standard. It's 51% in civil cases and
go out in a blaze
or
of
90%
glory.
in civil
They don't
cases.
have a problem with that.
Preponderance or clear and convincing. And with criminal you have, and mental you got the beyond a reasonable doubt.
Now I'm sitting here, what, mumbling and
right?
stuttering?
So you only need to get a little doubt in there to change it. Now, it's different when we're talking. They have their executive, legislative, and judicial, right?
Spit any
and
real
in
shit.
America, we have American
I'm
law,
gonna beat you up. I'm gonna kill you.
Now, administrative law does executive,
because I can't
legislative,
freaking
and judicial. It means they're their own judge. They make the law and
speaking a full
sentence. You understand what I'm
sentence.
saying a little bit? So when they talk about the president, which is the executive, and then the Senate,
beat you up.
the judge, the Supreme Court, it's all bullshit because they're all their people.
Hide behind the computer.
Putting it up, wrapping it up in a nice little box with a ribbon that you can open up. Say, oh, ding ding, there's my Constitution. That's for me, my side. No, it was never your side. It was always entrapment. You say, well, you want to trap me to be in the Green Party? Yes, they do. Why? To divert you. Divert you to finding something real. Real freaking life.
Allows it. It's one of those situations where the exception predominates the rule. And generally, the factor from it. Congress can act any.
We do never have a rule without an exception. You can have an exception upon an exception.
To allow the military civilian law enforcement agencies in enforcing the laws.
Exactly.
For the Department of Defense, it provides some support.
And it's a
law enforcement
fallacy
agencies battling drug crime,
Private
organized
companies
crime,
that
military may
if
also
you
defend
have the
their bases of
right
poverty. One of those instances where
attorney-in-law, you're going to win.
The rule against hearsay.
Okay?
Sure, there's a general rule against hearsay admissible in
There's a
court, but
law
frankly, there are so many different sections
to win anything,
Yeah,
and there's a law to lose everything.
And they like
The judge will decide.
right now. They say, oh, because we're nothing without our piece of paper.
Not you.
Right. I'm not saying that's not true.
They decide when to change
But
law.
you ain't going to change it. You have no leg up on them. You're just pissing on your neighbor.
This is the Insurrection Act itself. So let's talk about that. The Insurrection Act 1807 actually refers to 5 pieces of legislation that are found in 10 U.S.C. sections 251 through 255. The law sets forth several scenarios that the president may use to justify deploying military
like, for example, Social
before the
Security.
invoked the Insurrection Act, he, quote,
You
must
cannot
first
touch
issue
your
a
Social
proclamation
Security
ordering the
until you're
insurgents
62,
disperse
unless
without
you're
limited time.
mental.
If the situation does not resolve itself, then the president may issue an executive order to send troops.
Right.
Now,
So all they
the
one side.
insurrection would actually get back to a time when municipal police departments didn't really exist in this country.
I don't know,
It makes sense that there would be times when the federal government would need to send military personnel to help out with.
Yeah, does it make sense to you? Yeah, but they would need to.
Era,
especially when they create their damn disasters.
Police department. My question
Oh no, we couldn't have
books. Now, the old section of this law was Act 17.
So it ends up being a division. So it's kind of like we don't need the police. I'm not saying do. Definitely take the police over the military any day because they're people within city, more of a personal issue. Okay? Oh, Turkey and the ones he put up their own militia. Okay? It's not like saying against all military. Against it's either they're against police, but they're not against the military, or they're against the military and police, but not the militia. I understand getting rid of all of them. I'm not going to say I don't. Let's say that. And police is 33 in numerology.
It's a difference. They're not going to get rid of any of them.
I trust them more than the military.
Congress was initially
and more than militia.
So they required he would first need to give insurgents a warning to first. And although President Trump has explicitly threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act,
I'm not saying to go vote, okay? I'm not saying that Trump's better than the other one. I'm not saying that. I do think it's better, though, to get the food from the store than have it get delivered. The whole trace line from someone who's known me for years. I'm saying that we should get the better, even if the fruit is poisoned, I'm going with the fruit over than the box. I do have a little bit with the police, and I don't want to get off topic here. But like, for example, when I'm driving on the road and truck drivers are harassing me and not letting me through on cars, the police aren't there to be found. Because when the police are around, people drive nicely. And I'm not here to usher in the fucking New World Order. And, because I know we're already in China and they see everything. Just don't care if someone's fucking with me on the road. That's what I think. It's like that. Okay? But the way they're like the police, I've dealt with them quite a lot in my life. I think more than probably most, and I think I've had probably a more positive experience than most too. I'm not like just. Most people would say, I guess they would say, I'm getting totally off subject here, but I'm like, I guess they would call me like, right, a case I asked or something, and I'm not. I guess I look at people, no matter what they're wearing, so forth. And of course, I have a license, a law license, which I need to get rid of. I gotta stop paying on it. I have to accept that it's a bad move and dealing with it. I'm $500,000 in debt. Clearly, that must be enough punishment.
Necessary to defend property, residents, and I will deploy the United States military and quickly
how?
them.
What? To give us the vaccine. That's it. Make sure you're.
One of the Insurrection Act deals with federal and for state governments. It combines two laws from the earliest days of the Republic. One was a law used to suppress whiskey rebellion in 1794. This was an uprising of farmers, distillers who protested in federal list tax. After 23 President Washington was given authority to call forth the militia upon the request of the governor.
Starting to sound really bad.
Second part of Act in 1807 at the request of President Jefferson and allows the president to call up the standing army as well as the militia. This brings us to Section 252, which regards the use of militia and armed forces to respect authority. Section 252 was enacted in 1861 at the request of President Lincoln to a presidential.
It's hard to say whether you're dealing with the militia, the army, or the police. They all have superiors following some ideology, oath. Even the militia. Not like any of them are legit, and not to mention, they're all about killing, locking up. Not good. And let's stay on focus here. It's about the vaccine. Wouldn't that be a slap in the face to the militia? Call them in. Pass out. See? They're unbelievable.
To use the militia and regular army to suppress the and enforce the laws. This law was the legal basis for waging this war. The law allowed the president to use their troops on his own initiative.
Yeah, check out those pictures from the Civil War, and you tell me if those pictures are fucking real. They're freaking faker than the Holocaust.
Request federal troops or federal aid under the Insurrection Act. The thing is, for most of the Insurrection Act, it doesn't require mandatory approval. That brings us to Section 53.
So even if it's a tough pill for people to swallow. Grandfather was in the military. Son's in the military. My great-grandfather was in the Civil War. I did not say they weren't. That the pictures were fake. Use the military. No doubt there's killing going on. They tell you on TV, what they show you is fake. You can't say I'm wrong because you didn't go look at the pictures. Pause and zoom. If you did, I suggest you make a channel about it.
Or not. I mean, it's official story. You got billions of people that agree with you.
Federal troops to suppress the Ku Klux Klan during Reconstruction. Quote, the president, by using militia or the armed forces, or both, or by any other means, shall take such measures as he considers necessary to suppress in a state any expression of domestic violence, unlawful combination, or conspiracy, if it, one, so hinders the execution of the laws of that state and of the United States within the state, and
not a heartless bitch. Their shootings and their lynchings, all bullshit. I'll know who's getting hurt. There. Frankly, you move a lot. Something like that's going on around you. Should not be happening anymore once you move there.
Class of its people is deprived of a right, privilege, immunity, or protection named in the Constitution and secured by law, and the constituted authorities of that state are unable, fail, or refuse to protect that right, privilege, or immunity, or to give that protection, or 2, opposes or obstructs the execution of the laws of the United States, or impedes the course of justice under those laws. And you can tell by the this legend.
Oh, this is so lame. This is on point too. You cannot take these things in your own hand. I remember I was in Florida visiting a friend, Central Florida. Go check out land. And he had some bad stuff from what his girlfriend was saying in the neighborhood. He wasn't doing well. His son had passed away. He went to the military. Suicide. His place, there was witches, and it was rough. And he said something and said, no, he'll go pick him up, throw him in jail if he does something. And I thought about staying there and cleaning it up. I thought about, he had to deal with, there's squatters in both places in Florida that I checked out. The laws were not helping. There was also abuse, physical abuse, or, between domestic abuse, and the police were not getting involved in it, okay? That is very different than other states. And here, I'm from, you have to do far but little to none.
Authority, and that in a situation where you have peaceful protesters and rioting and looting going on at the exact same time,
by actors,
that it's not surprising that someone might use
all of them.
Unlawful
and they keep taking down Martin Luther King on Mag's channel. I can't find any of it on my
originally, there were 2 fairly large limits on the use of military personnel by the Insurrection Act by the president. The first was that the president had to get approval from a federal judge. The second was that the Insurrection Act could be used until Congress came back into session and then had to approve the use of the military. Now, those 2 restrictions on the Insurrection Act sunsetted out and no longer are part of the act and no longer act as a check against military personnel.
We're not special.
So
and I'm not saying we're not the chosen people. I'm saying it's not because of a religion, not because of a constitution. Okay?
Insurrection Act exception been used to posse comitatus. Now, although the Insurrection Act has not been used frequently, presidents have invoked it to enforce the law, especially when racial equality is at stake. In 1957, President Eisenhower called on the U.S. Army's 101st Airborne Division to safely escort 9 black students into Little Rock Central High School after the Arkansas governor, Orville Faubus, had called on the Arkansas National Guard to stop the students.
We all know they created the racial
President Kennedy invoked the act in 1962 and 1963 to send federal troops to Mississippi and Alabama.
Privilege is no more than a Ponzi scheme.
In 1967, President Johnson sent the 82nd
and an ethical
Sorry.
war on our soul.
Jr. was assassinated.
Oh,
and in 1982,
really?
President H.W. Bush responded to a request from Governor Pete Wilson of
What?
California to quell rioting in Los Angeles.
What, when he was doing orthodontist work? So full of shit.
National Guardsmen on duty in the city of Los Angeles. Let me assure you, they would use whatever force is necessary.
Funny.
What? Fix your teeth?
So, in modern times, the presidential use of the insurrection
They're such assholes. I tell you what. You cannot buy this Jewish conspiracy thing.
And it's generally been used.
The Jews I've known, they work their fucking ass off. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't a whole bunch of people that said they were Jewish that had any idea. And I'm not saying that Jews should be Jews. I'm just saying they're like any other religion that follows Satan.
And in that example,
I think they can wake up. I know.
Completely contrary to what he wanted.
Yeah.
Governor Wilson, on the other hand, did ask for help from
Shut up.
And the other instances also involved quelling of riots that were explicit responses to racial injustice. And there's probably one other historical example that is incredibly relevant, and that was the federal
Man-made
government's
weather?
response to Hurricane Katrina. When the levees in Louisiana
More
broke, the federal
terrorism, they're
government was slow to
threatening us
respond to
again.
enormous logistical challenges.
The rock and the stick. I'm sticking the carrot.
Insurrection Act, but Department of Defense was concerned Americans would be enlist the military in that
If he
role.
wasn't, doing comedy?
At the time, the military was fighting two wars, and eventually Congress amended the
Peace,
Insurrection Act to
man.
clarify the circumstances that would justify
Peace
the
of
use
what?
armed forces. There is now language in the statute
Food?
that lets the president use the military to
They don't
restore
care about
order
you.
and
They
enforce
steal
federal
your
laws
freaking blood.
if there is a natural disaster, epidemic, or terrorist act.
They let you rot and die.
Ultimately, the Bush administration
They
decided
feed you
not
garbage
to invoke the
and
Insurrection
shit.
Act in support of humanitarian efforts.
And you make shit jokes all day.
And it's probably important to talk about the distinction between
Norms?
norms and
What a
laws.
douchebag.
The law itself
Okay, the law
has been
is
broad
the
for a very long
norms.
time, but it's revealing the presidents have been reluctant to invoke the Insurrection Act. That is a presidential norm, a
Doing the
societal
finger
norm,
point the
but it
whole
is not
motherfucking
written
time.
to the act.
I feel like
and
I'm
you can see how a broadly written law that has been used in some instances where no one would object, and probably instances that were closer to the margins, can be used for good and ill depending on.
Ooh, here we go. Because I have like a minute here. It's going to stop. Sorry. What? This again.
To hurry. Show you what you do. Upload on bit because bitch shit. Sorry, Siri, don't tell them I said it. Shit here. Acts like they're good people, but you gotta upload like 3-4 times. And it still may not play. And so you think you have it, right? A couple people see it. Nope. It's a play. Or 1, process and publish. Ooh, 15. Okay, so I figure we're in and we're going to just, if it is, and this one we delete. Okay. Sometimes, especially if I put it on Instagram, it'll upload. They like to make me look like a dumb piece of shit.
I don't do
That's
Instagram
fine. I don't
anymore.
care what fucking.
Who is upholding the norms and who is not. And the Katrina example is
Liars
important
and
because it
cheaters.
reveals two concerns.
Yeah,
that
get
normally
to it,
come
what
up
it
with
does.
requiring a national response.
Aside from
And
whatever
that
they
also
want.
involves the difference between norms and laws. First, the American people have traditionally been very wary about military operating on U.S. soil. This in turn has
Yeah, and
made
that ever
military
stopped them?
deployed.
Bullshit. Everyone's like, we gotta send our kids to the military. That's some dumb shit. I've met some really nice fucking people, and they're dumb as fucking sin. The nicest people.
Between a military that's trained to kill and a police force that is trained to serve and protect.
Oh, so that's what I was trying to say earlier. Exactly. But bullshit. What about the jails?
Both Democratic
It's a
and
horrible
Republican,
job.
there's a decision-making process where the president hears from stakeholders about the pros
Panopticism.
and cons of using the military.
Cameras
It doesn't mean
now.
the president lacks the power
This
to
guy
use the
hasn't said
military to
shit.
enforce the law. On the contrary, the president clearly has the discretion.
You need, maybe you should read some more books, buddy. That might help you. Not.
Even if the governors don't ask for help, but rather it signals that at least in modern times we've had presidents who thought about what the governors might want, how the people might react, and whether a military response would actually make things worse.
Are you going to take a side?
Not to think about
Or is that against your beliefs? Here, how about some cartoon drawing?
The norms involving the
What do you got on there? The eagle, the cross? Or just that sun you worship, your script, and your Freemason books?
And it's also probably worth pointing out that the
Black and white, tied up to the neck in this.
Contemplate the president is going to faithfully execute the laws, and that on
Yeah, maybe we should hope on it.
He has a lot of discretion to use the military to stop riots in the name of enforcing the laws, because we have a lot of laws out there, and it's hard to not think about this fact without examining the context of what actually happened when the president invoking the Insurrection Act.
Oh, are you reading this off your top of your head?
He or Bill Barr gave orders to clear out the protesters in Lafayette Square so that the president could get his photo op in St.
are you? Oh, yeah, and St. John. Yeah, oh, let me guess. And you are against Trump?
Yes,
Of course you are.
flashbangs, a crowd of peaceful protesters. All this happened before the 7 p.m. curfew. And of course,
It's always
the right
sunny
to protest
in
peaceably assemble is part of the First Amendment.
Philadelphia.
It's part of the freedom of expression.
Yeah, because that's what we want to do.
Are a way of life in Washington.
Yeah, well, then why can't I
Right?
put it back?
He's from It's Always Sunny, right?
No, that's right. We're not driving anymore. Oh, too late. Too little, too late.
This is an older video.
Are we done yet? Wrap it up, B.
First Amendment activity to petition the government.
What, is Oprah freaking Dave Chappelle?
There are, in fact, many statutes that make it clear that protesters cannot block access to federal buildings or destroy private property.
What the hell's wrong with
stop
them?
the president from going somewhere he wants to go.
They got
You can also
land.
imagine how some of these laws might be used as a
What?
pretext to
What are they worried
First
about?
Amendment expressive activity. One of the things that made President Trump's actions so
Why wouldn't they just come clean before they
the
die?
Capitol to meet with Congress, nor
Dumb
was he doing
pigs.
anything strictly related to the business of being president. Instead, he just had an impromptu
Bye,
photo
good
op
people.
that appears to be used.
I don't know how horrible this is gonna sound. I could not get it to upload on YouTube, and I'm gonna push my luck and try to give you something else here.
Yesterday I mentioned Apollo at the end of talking about Jesus and Mary. Which reminds me of how they just use the same story over and over. Also, Moses, Joseph, like as if I remember learning that too, how religions, they all give the same, story, right? And then, okay, so we imagine we're here on the part that's mapped out of the earth, and then they're on the part that's not mapped out, and some of their elders, let's say, are 200 years old, okay, and just S&M have their Freemason puppets who show up stage here, who emulate and look and related to them, and they live together, right? They pull them off the scene and then they go there. And Apollo, okay, I figure Apollo's kind of similar to, like, they're all considered like Baphomets, right? Now, of course, they don't make Apollo, which is the Statue of Liberty, and then, of course, Rocky, the guy who fights Rocky. And
Oh boy.
Apollo had lovers. He was into some women or whatever, and some of them he liked more than others. And he ends up turning them all into trees and watching them. Just something, it's out there. Delphi is, guess one of the first ones that he took an interest in or whatever. So the thing I'm gathering is it's kind of they're paid, they worship these things, and then they piece the drama off them. And the religions bring the different sides together. I'm curious how much they mess with us and how connected we are to them, of course. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
We're not connected to them. We all go through some form of deep fake through the TV, I think. Sooner or later.
I was reading a lot last night. I've thought about taping, and I thought, this sounds good. It's boring.
You go through it once you start empathizing with them, I think, as Meg eloquently puts it.
satanic shit, right?
Today I'm going to show you the family tree of Greek and Roman gods. I'll be using my Greek mythology family tree chart, which, by the way, is...
Because it's kind of like, really they're trying to marry them all and combine them all. After, I'm not sure how long they've been in.
I'm sorry, I don't know how fuzzy this is, but this is how I see it with, like, the whole, deep fake thing.
We are. Oh, if anything, it would be, we're the ones that they're trying to change, right?
available as a poster from my website.
So, yeah, I do think they emulate us, but the main reason why we fall for it is because there's just only so many characters and stars they have. And then it's not a coincidence. It's by the one that reminds us of our mother or our father or our best friend or whoever it is that they play the other role, in that, after that one. So it can affect our relationships with those people. The friend you haven't seen, the friend you have seen.
Each Greek god had a Roman equivalent. For example, the Greek god Zeus was called Jupiter by the Romans. In this video, I'll be...
Already, I feel like it's total bullshit, and they're just trying to get it. They're all the same religions, the same story. I can't stand Vice. Let's go into it for a minute, okay?
Huh? What's up? This is Will Cooper at the Vice headquarters in Brooklyn.
Will Cooper, like Bill Cooper?
All they do is bang and beat each other up. Our Greek officers went to find the people who still worship these awesome deities. This is, oh my God.
Awesome. Wow, what an answer.
I was going to say, just because I don't speak, and I'm going to say mag too, okay? Just because anyone doesn't speak about something you have learned on YouTube or in a book doesn't presume that I haven't, that the person hasn't been in contact with that stuff. Okay? Whether it's John Levy, UAP, Lightgate, Mudflood, Mandela, sovereign citizenship, whatever it is, don't assume that the person's not familiar with, whatever it is. Physics, science, whatever it is. Just cut it out. Everyone's interested in different things. And I thought it was really disgusting that there was a mag hater going, what did he fucking say? And I'm not even going to even give him credit and tell him which one it is. Tell you which one it is. He's like, it's all about finding the rat and killing them. And I'm thinking, you are the freaking rat. What kind of truther goes after mag? No, seriously? It's infuriating. I don't like it. Oh, and then we gotta be fucking pagan? Okay, I'm done. I could do this all day.
Wow, so great you're crying about it, huh? Gods exposing themselves as being gods. And then
του Συμβουλίου των Ελλήνων Εθνικών για να γνωρίσουμε μερικούς πολύ θρήσκους ανθρώπους, οι οποίοι όμως δεν πιστεύουν σε.
No, they believe in the other Christ and Mary. And then I thought about the North Pole and the compass there, and them and that land there. It's like shaped like an eye. The earth, and then the circle, and the circle, within the circle, like a flower too.
Και σε Παναγίες. Αυτό είναι ένα μόνο από τα 10 σωματεία δωδεκαθίστων που υπάρχουν στη χώρα. Είναι ίσως το πιο γνωστό και πιο παλιό. Σήμερα έχει ομιλία ο εμπνευστής της θρησκευτικής κοινότητας, ο Βλάσης Χασιάς.
Sounds so Russian, right?
Είναι όλοι αυτοί οι άνθρωποι και κάνουν, πιστεύω και γιατί.
Finger point. Statues, pagans. I mean, what's it about?
Σε τι πιστεύετε?
You got to remember, they're not saying, what they're saying is that our creator's a human in flesh, and they're taking on that role. And to control people like they're their slaves and property. Crazy. Credit for everything. It's wrong. And so you got the statue up there. It's not like they're saying, okay, well, here's some lessons, and this is going to be your education. Philosophy. They're saying they're gods.
Πιστεύουμε σε αυτό ακριβώς που πιστεύουν διαχρονικά οι Έλληνες μέσα στην ιστορία προτού έρθει ο χριστιανισμός. Δηλαδή αυτό που πιστεύω ακριβώς που περιγράψει ο Λεωνίδας του Μισθοκλής.
Yeah, at least they had, right, they're going to say real people over fantasy people, but
δεν πιστεύουμε σε
a
ένα
religion?
αλλά σε πολλούς.
Όπως ο Δίας, για παράδειγμα, η Αθηνά.
Ναι, είναι μια εθνική θρησκεία, έχει να κάνει άμεσα με το έθνος.
I'm sorry, it's been a while since I did a video, and I shouldn't be putting this on YouTube, but what's the point of having a channel?
Powers would only be because they had gaffled the technology. Oh, and
Elred, I feel like because against, I'm not sure how anyone else feels about it, and that's really not of any of my concern. Okay, I don't get any likes, so I'm not really concerned about it. And I also feel like that, I'm not sure who's watching this right now, but I have been putting out, I condensed Mag's work for the last 2.5 years, and made it so freaking easy, going through thousands of videos and hundreds of his opinions, that I feel like people have taken it for granted. That's his work. It simplified it so much, which has been the point, right? That people learn it. But I mean, I can count on my hand the thank yous, and, pretty much the likes, right? So that's sad. Yeah, I feel like, they're trying to break us. The mag haters, you'll notice they talk very general. They hate us. Not just mag, they think we're stupid idiots, and that's a shame. And it says a lot. Okay, you've all met people like that, but not majority of people are like that. Okay, it's a mentality to try to break us and divide us. They will use voice boxes, and it may be a voice box where it may be, let's say, my voice with only when I stutter, right? Only not the good part of my voice, right? Or it may be, what are you going to do if you hear my voice and you've never met me? Will you trust me? So that's where we're at, and hopefully everyone will get through it unscathed. But as far as where I'm sitting, like, there's no way you can let them get away with talking about family. You can't. You understand? We're all innocent. We didn't do shit to each other. No one, dumb check. No one owes anyone anything. Ever.
Elrad's the one who takes, as they are able to speak to people from like a mile away. It's me like a radio again.
Being immortal, the gods had to come up with things to do to kill time. So one day, Zeus, master of the world, wanted to know where the center of his realm was. To figure this out, Zeus
not
used
immortal,
two
they
eagles
live
flying
longer.
towards each other, each from a different extremity of the earth. Where the paths of the eagles met would be the world's navel. You mark this.
Yeah, I think they did do some shit with conquering the earth and naming areas and lineage and messing with the DNA and probably, changing the pigment color of our skins and so forth.
With the Omphalos, the stone that had once saved him from being eaten by Kronos. Maybe a little surprisingly, Zeus did not claim this most important
Lightning
site
bolt.
for himself, but left his primary estate to one of his sons, Apollo. Welcome to Cicerone.
So, yeah, I'm not sure how to explain it, except for like, social media and life have different meanings to everyone. I feel like I can forgive everyone on social media. But, it has its place, I feel. I guess that's all I really want to say about it.
Apollo may have had the perfect scenic location for a holy site, but no matter what your real estate agent says,
That guy from Modern Family.
for this site to become the most important oracle in the world, there was a lot of work to be done. Problem one was, without humans to worship you, you don't have much of holy site. There was the soul living anywhere near the site. No humans anyway. And Apollo was going to have a hard time convincing any humans to go there as long as their neighbor from hell still resided there. So Apollo took up his signature bow and arrow and battled the.
So they're showing you cartoon again, and it's like, right, they're bad liars. They're telling you in plain sight. They're trying to get people to believe it. They're trying to get people to buy this shit, and they can't.
He slew the monster and buried it deep under the Omphalos. Having killed the horrible python, Apollo could now start moving humans to inhabit the site and worship him. As first settlers, Apollo chose a group of tradesmen from Crete. As puny humans cannot handle the sight of a god in all its glory, Apollo came to the tradesmen in the shape of a dolphin and leapt from the sea onto their ship. The Cretans followed the instructions of the talking dolphin and set sail for the center of the earth. Upon arrival, however, they were reluctant to settle. Even without the snake monster, the location had its problems.
It's all about taking over, conquering land, changing their viewpoints, their
But Apollo told
religion.
them, "Ye of little faith, you will not have to worry about food or anything else. Once you settle here and worship me, all the world will come and bring you more than you can ever need."
Yeah, because you're killers and murderers and eating people. Wow. And again, where do we go to not have signs and symbols? Why did they kill Tookie and not Charles Manson?
That was just a question.
I'm gathering they don't kill either, and neither was in prison. They're both CIA agents and both foolers on the masses, but one plays a better role. Right?
I even correct myself.
God of light. All them. Here. This guy, first thing off the bat, he's pointing at you.
world's recognizable landmark and a similar for millions. To truly appreciate this iconic structure, you need to understand the financial and technical challenges it faced.
Okay, the head of America, head of Babylon,
Construction story behind the
and
greatest engineering achievements of the 19th century.
we are their we're in
Still
the
the tallest statue in the United States, more than 130 years after its completion, the Statue of Liberty was a record-breaking structure. At the time, giant the statue conceived to celebrate the centenary of American independence by a French intellectual and anti-slavery activist named Edward de la Rue. He proposed a statue in 1865 to honour both the centenary and the United States' friendship with France. 5 years later, in 1870, French sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartoli began designing
with the big ass ribbon around his neck.
Female figure representing the Roman goddess Libertas.
And there's all those conspiracies about finding Apollo all over. Who cares?
The project was announced in 1875. The statue was given the name.
What, 100 years after they were here?
A title she would keep right up until 1924, when she became a national monument and was officially renamed the Statue of Liberty. While France would finance the statue,
Laurel Leaves, all Freemason.
finding a site, construction.
In plain sight, right? Everywhere else in the world.
Oh, well, I guess this video, if it's not completely, it's probably going to be completely scratchy and I'm going to have to delete it. But just in case it's not. Oh, did you know a couple nights ago when there was a full moon, it was like light out at 4 in the morning? Haters from it, and also, I guess, trolls. I'm pretty, I got to YouTube in 2015, and I didn't mag till 2018, so I was pretty bitter about that and resentful. But my life, I remember the first time I heard some of the family going at mag haters, and I thought it was pretty neat because I will always be very fond of mag, and you're all going to have to get real acclimated with that. Okay? Like, I'm just not that person. I'm that one who, even if he ever did, like, I remember the first time I saw him doing a video breaking down someone, right? And I said to myself, well, if that happens, oh well. I mean, I didn't even really know what it was about. I'm not a man. Anyway, I'm just saying, anyway, I'm that kind of person. I've had bosses. I've had friends that were, not as close to me as I was to them. Sorry, my voice is very deep. In the night. Can I put your clothes on? Because they feel
On both sides of the Atlantic. While overall plans for the statue remained to be finalised, Bartoli began fabricating the right arm bearing the torch.
Okay, I feel like I'm going nowhere, don't you?
2 years after it was first imagined, on October the 28th, 1886.
Remember said there's like a Mandela effect to direct the Statue of Liberty or something? In the 50s or something, they said? Or the 1918 or something?
On Bartoli's truth.
So, from my experience, I've pretty much been able to talk to most people in life. Now, okay, let's see. From my experience, if someone doesn't like me or is talking about me or has done a video about me, I haven't really watched them. Because YouTube won't tell me, because they're jerks, even if I have a setting for them to tell me. B, because usually, I guess it's you dish it out, but you don't want to take it. Now, I have dabbled a little bit into, I guess, listening to people who are indirectly taking hits at me or mag. And no, I think the difference between listening to it would be, I guess a troll is someone who, harasses someone who has a different opinion, right? They're commenting, they're saying rude things. Another reason why you may find yourself listening to someone is because they remind you of someone else. Most likely another actor. The other thing that is going on is they're using different voices. And they are using our voices too to fuck with us. Okay? And that is going to be a huge issue for social media especially if it's someone you haven't met. Okay? I don't think everyone sounds the same. Although I am guilty of identifying the Hollywood actors with the people in my life, probably from day one. Okay? I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Was to become the pedestal space. It may seem hard to believe today. Securing funding for the project was actually extremely.
And while we're going through everything, and I hope this video is not a throwaway, shaving my head is nothing to do with the vaccine. I did it 1 year as a joke, as a Holocaust survivor, a black one, which was completely inappropriate back in the 90s. I also did it to get rid of a guy. And yes, it worked. And then I think this last time it was about control, taking back some control. Okay.
Something about saying how it used to be Ellis Island.
I'm like in the phone.
About them getting here, I don't know, changing names. I'm not sure about that.
Neoclassical pedestal, standing some 89 feet,
I gather all names.
Was an impressive construction undertaking in itself. Richard Morris Hunt, a founder of the American Institute of Architects, was chosen to design the structure. General P. Stone was appointed engineer-in-chief. Hunt's original concept was...
And they're not showing you much. I wouldn't believe any of it, except for the real thing, and I would definitely not spend my time on YouTube watching freaking devil buildings. I don't know why I used to do that.
Now, the thing with the conspiracy that's really ticks me off with the deep fake is they're going to have people out killing each other. Okay? If you're looking for a fucking rat, haters, you need to look no further than, I would say, Hollywood stars in the World Bank or your Rothschild, but no. They hide behind those. So you can't use those. But instead, people are they're waking up from the fact that they have no control and there's no revolution and there's no way they can win. So they're going after the conspiracies. I think that's their way of making the deal. That's their way of, selling out, is by buying the conspiracy. And that's where it gets dangerous. Now, I'm not scared to die just like the rest of everyone, but while I think the big thing is for everyone is not so much being scared of death, is that there's a distinction between a lot of us that don't want to be in pain while we're alive and the moral relativists that, are dabbling in, as they would say, feeling comfortable in their sexuality and also their pain, because that includes the masochism, of course.
What's the difference? They have their 3D printers and they have their paintings and they have their computers, and who cares? Why does it matter? God's explained in 12 minutes. Okay. 7 million views. Wow.
Believes that makeup should cover your skin. It's beauty, not makeup. What I love about this
Other asshole.
world began with 7 primordial beings.
Okay,
First,
more bullshit.
Small Earth, finally Eros and Gaia. Gaia came Uranus, heaven, both created the Titans. Uranus liked his children and locked them deep within the earth. Gaia, sick of having her children in prison, made a great sickle that she gave to her son Cronus. Cronus hid until Uranus came to lie with his mother, then leapt out and sliced off his father's genitals. Cronus proceeded to release his fellow Titans from prison, and so the Age of the Titans began. Cronus married the Titan Rhea, who gave birth to most of the major gods. Cronus, scared by a prophecy that his children would
Now, maybe.
Oh no. Maybe what, Alana?
Maybe at some point they were found out for being murderers, killing. They got caught. On history before, let's say before 3,000, 6,000 to 3,000 years ago. Somehow or another, so maybe there is some truth to that, but to make it right, here they're literally showing you some old man who's eating a baby. Why would that be good for anyone? How would that for the baby at all? First, what? They're naked too? It's fucking disgusting. Sickness.
power, prison, and
Yeah, you think that'd be a gift?
swallowing them whole. Rhea pleaded to Gaia for help, who, taking pity, hid Zeus after he was born on Mount Ida in Crete. When Cronus came to eat his son, Rhea fed him a stone instead, tricking the Titan. Gaia raised Zeus.
See, they don't even hide it.
To take on his father. Fought, and upon defeat, Cronus was forced to release Zeus's siblings, starting the war between the gods and the Titans. The war lasted 12 years until Zeus freed the Cyclopses and the 100 giants who Cronus had imprisoned. The Cyclopses imprisoned deep within the underworld. Poseidon and Hades decided to share power, drawing
You
gods.
can't trust anything they say. Good, people, and anyone they say is bad is probably real.
Zeus, king of the gods,
Right. Exactly.
Yes, everywhere. Exactly. Man-made weather.
Home and strangers, being a bad host could land you in deep trouble.
Yeah, cheating. But,
Married his sister Hera, who birthed the gods Ares and Hephaestus. He was also infamous for his many affairs with other goddesses, from which Athena, Hermes, Apollo, Artemis, and Persephone came.
I have been trying months to put up Apollo and this natural sovereign citizen junk. Okay, I'm not saying, I understand, I guess friends going for it as well, but I don't think it's a good idea. Not today.
More magnificent one under the sea, where he spent most of his time.
I mean, unless you're suited to do that, of course, then, I mean, I would maybe consider it. I don't know. It seems kind of dumb to give up your citizenship. You may have to, I don't know what happens then. They could ship you off to China.
They go from, oh no, there's no way they're listening to us and making our social credit and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Why all of a sudden you act like every once in a while people, these haters act like no one's listening or they don't care. And let's be real, right? They don't care. They don't care in general.
And so you can partake in it and then try to become a god so you can what? Your babies? And the same with the kids. They're always fooling them. What do they think's the magic? Mean people.
In the story of Theseus and the Minotaur,
There, the goat head.
Here he sacrificed his best bull to Poseidon. One year he withheld his favorite bull, a huge white animal. Poseidon noticed, but instead of punishing Minos directly, he decided to target his wife.
There you go. How are they not acting like
I think we're going to see in our lifetime where, like in China, how they shame people. I think they're going to release and make public record everything everyone's ever done on social media. Like where you're going to get the best and the worst. They also may even make public our whole record, or like they'll sell it to our kids, right? And then it's going to be sad, people, because they could have, our lineage remember us however they want. They can change what we say, or they may make us lie and say, oh, well, we didn't say that, or I didn't say that, right? Things that you say in the privacy of your own home. I mean, it's just, it's so wrong on, so many levels.
The oldest of the brothers ruled over the underworld, where the spirits of the dead resided. He shared his throne with his wife, Persephone, and the two were considered to be gods of fertility. The world had several guardians and trials, making it difficult for the dead and near impossible for the living to enter. The gates they passed the deadly river Styx. The only way to enter was to get passage from the ferryman, Charon. Charon required payment.
Care.
It's the reason why Greek burials included
anything, nothing real, ever.
Soul could not afford to enter, and they were fated to wait on the shores of the Styx forever. Charon lay Cerberus, the fabled three.
Okay, seriously. Do they have the goal to mention soul? They clearly showing you they have a war on our soul. Who the fuck wants their soul anywhere near their three-headed fucking dog? Make sense? You want to have
Headed dog guards the gates of the underworld.
bullshit.
The soul will reach the three judges of the underworld.
Oh, like the three wise men?
They can choose Elysium, Asphodel, or Tartarus.
Are those their lands?
A peaceful place where the souls of heroes, demigods, and especially good mortals reside.
Okay, again.
The Asphodel Meadows is a place for ordinary folk who do not achieve anything new.
There you go. If they do lose people or if they're mocking us.
I do have some theories and, fill in some of the other, answers of questions that people may have had that I had, because I had obviously my own theories before I found Mag's work. But his aligned the closest, and resonated the most. That's just, I've always kind of been like that. But anyway, my theory was that the democracy was, majority rules here, but it was really about them. And like the 12 tribes or the 12 constellations was, them, their families and their countries or whatever. Mags says how he's well, because some things like I would have, let's say, 4 different answers, right? And then things that he's real sure on, I may give that as more of like a better answer, more probable and plausible when I put scenarios together to get other answers.
It's still Elsa, whether here, whether you're there and you've sold your soul, still play.
Like, I think the breakdown is going to be something like 500 million, and then they're more like 20, maybe 25 million, and then maybe they have 100 million puppets. I don't know, no, 25 million puppets, or something like that. Because like Jewish people, there's like 13 million, right? And then, or let's say I'm going to say if there's 500 million people, like 2 million, right? Or something like that. And not that Judaism is a race. I'm just trying to, look at different, angles.
It's not only the Titans, but also criminals who upset the gods, who are tortured for eternity. Hera,
They fucking wish.
queen of the gods, was the protector of marriage and women, deeply respected in Greek society. She was one of the most vengeful and spiteful gods, punishing women who lay with her husband and any subsequent children. When Leto was pregnant with Apollo and Artemis, Hera stopped her giving birth. She kept alive another of his ministries, and they are guarded by the 100-eyed monster.
Brainwashing.
Famous tale of the
But stories of jealousy, emotions. Grow the fuck up, assholes. Everyone goes through emotions and feelings.
Just a child.
Yeah, nice. Baby naked with a snake.
She later drove him to madness, making him kill his wife and children, and sent him with his 12 babies.
Oh, that's okay, because they're gods.
The child of
Oh,
Zeus
kill away.
was annoyed and
Horribly.
so swallowed Metis while she was pregnant. After this, Zeus began to get a terrible enemy. He asked a fellow immortal, thought to be Hephaestus, to split his head open with an axe.
They totally, they talk like they're special.
Or letting out a war cry. Athena had an affinity for heroics, coming to aid of heroes
I
like
don't know how much more I can take of this.
Her favorite.
Take any more of the dumb shit. Remember they did that Saga's Statue of Liberty when Jack Foley was doing something. It went off the Statue of Liberty. Remember that?
It's supposedly a man.
American epidemic.
Supposedly on there and wouldn't get off.
Oh, Baphomet.
It wasn't me.
It's myth so much like the Bible, right? Star Trek. Welcome to Olympus.
Lift me up and keep me grounded.
See those apart between the houses?
I'll live there for a natural looking volume.
Kissing Kitsy. Double shit. There you go, they're fucking statues. They're pillars. Or do they find? See, what's next? They're going to tell us that we're all their lineage. We're their children.
So I stretched out my hand. Breathe the heart.
mention Agamemnon.
And you gaffled off it.
How do you know about it? It's your most distant memories. Of the thousands of years past. There. Your fathers knew me. Your fathers' fathers.
Exactly. Same faces, same inbreds.
I am Apollo. Sorry.
Don't let them fool you. They're all together in on it.
Simple humanoid cat. Not so simple. These have not changed.
Believe.
My children, Zeus, Athena, Aphrodite, Artemis, gallant band of travelers. And you, your earth found 5,000 of you years ago. Here at your invitation. Telling us what you want.
All fake background.
Not leave this place.
No one gets in or out. No one's leaving this place
Bam.
until you meet your maker.
Device no longer functions.
Yeah, let me guess, but you can still receive.
That device to work either, Captain. What is it you want? To worship me,
Exactly.
as your fathers did before you.
Oh, why? Because you're being from truth? Is that why we need to worship you?
That's your business. But you know God to us, mister. I said you would worship me. You've got a lot to learn.
Damn
And
dogs.
so have you. The lesson begins.
Yeah, we'll have to kill you. Lightning bolt. Anyone, you can't mess with Zion. Put in. Oh, he's Italian too, of course.